Welcome back. This is still What's Cooking right here on Channel 1 TV. My name is Apioko. Now it's time for us to get cooking. But let me reintroduce my guest properly. Her name is Sitsofe Chiko. She's an actress. She's the CEO of Orelish, also the CEO of Rainbow Productions, and she's just an all-around fabulous human being. She also happens to be one of the sisters on Channel 1 TV and City FM's Sister program. So let's welcome her. She's coming to make some banging jollof. I'm so excited about it. You have no idea. For some reason, why are you so excited about jollof? Because it was me. That's the bottom line. And she's also going to be making some fresh pineapple juice. And you understand that the Orelish that I mentioned is actually a food eatery. So she's a professional at this thing, and I'm actually quaking in my boots a little. So hello, Sicho.
Hi, Appy.
Good to see you.
Same here.
I'm loving this new look.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Sicho is here. I also want us to thank our sponsors. Indomie tastes great. We have Fortune Rice as well. Frytol. Everybody knows Frytol. It's a part of our life here in Ghana and many parts of Africa. And then we have Tasty Tom. Mufa kakra. Na ye bebre. So Sicho.
Yes.
It's jollof time.
It's jollof time.
What is so special about this jollof?
Well, I have my own recipe, that's one to start with. And you know how different people make their jollof differently.
Yes.
So you're going to try my own Orelish style jollof.
No, I'm good. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. Okay, so we already started steaming the meat.
Yes,
because
we had.
Strict instructions. You wanted it to be very, very tender.
Yes.
Which is the way I like it anyway.
Exactly. And especially when you're going to fry the meat, you want to make sure it's tender enough for that.
Absolutely. So what did we put in there?
Okay, so
This is beef?
Yes.
Okay.
This is beef. So I wash my beef and then I cut some onion, pepper, bell pepper, garlic, spring onion, because all these things add some spice to it. And then we have our dry spice that I pour on it as well, and then some seasoning and salt. Basically that.
Wonderful. What kind of seasoning? Is there any? It's like I know we're not going to give us a secret ingredient, but is there like a spice that will bring everything together, or?
Well, my dry spice basically contains most of all our Ghanaian local spice that we use.
Mind, she carried this spice with her.
I did. It's been a helper all the years that I've been cooking, and I had to coin this over the years, trying and skewing and changing things here and there, and it gives me the perfect blend that I want. So, I can
imagine, because I've had Orelish jollof and it is out of this world. Okay, and Orelish shito.
Yes. Which I should have brought one.
It's fine. So let's start into it. So the meat
now
is
that
on
the meat
fire.
is, yes,
it's
the
done,
meat
I
is,
think.
Yes, it's done.
Okay.
So I would like to basically just chop it up a bit.
And this is beef, is it?
Yes, it's beef.
A particular part of the
I
animal.
basically just go for, mostly when you go to the, where's the chopping board? Good, some knife. Basically when you go to the meat guys and you tell them you want soft and also boneless, they'll go ahead and give you one that is boneless.
Okay.
So I'll chop this up, not too small.
So this is boneless beef.
Yes, this is boneless beef. Right. And when you tell them you want a soft one, can I get a fork? Happy, can I get a fork?
Okay. No problem at all.
So first things first, I will wash my hands again.
Okay, so we're done cutting our meat?
Yes, done cutting our meat. And my stock, I don't play with it, so I'm going to pour it into something.
Alrighty.
So that we go back to the pot.
I actually want to taste this stock. Okay. So what's next? The meat is very flavorful. Yes. I've tasted it.
Thank you. So next we would have to go back in there, put in some oil and start frying the meat.
Okay.
Because it's already boiled and we don't want to overcook the meat. I try to just, you know, saute it in the oil because it's going to go back into the stew once we are ready to put in the rice anyway.
Okay.
So
makes sense. Okay.
okay, can you help me start the fire?
Absolutely. So same pots?
Yes, please, same pots.
Okay.
Yes.
Go.
So then we put in some
Okay.
Frito oil.
So we're going, of course, it has to be fried, like it has to be Frito. Could it be anything else? Okay, so we're going right into the jollof.
Yes. Yes.
Is there any a specific amount of oil that you added?
Not quite. I weigh it to my eye because what happens is I'm frying this and right after I'm starting my stew with it because I don't like to waste stuff. So while that is on the fire, I'm waiting for it to heat up so that I'll put my beef in it. I'll start chopping up my onion, which is the base for my jollof stew.
Do you cut the onions in any specific way?
Yes, I have a specific way I cut it.
I thought so. I thought so.
I know different people have different ways.
So I see that you cut it in half, and then you put the half, you know, the slice side face down, and then you're chopping from the top.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay, see.
Because then that gives me fine.
So we're pretty much dicing it.
Yes.
So in your recipe, we need the onions to be nice, finely diced.
Yes.
We don't want huge chunks in there.
Yes, I prefer it that way.
Is there a reason?
I just prefer it that way because I don't like large chunks of onion in my food, even though I like onion.
Yeah. You want it to surprise you. You don't want it to be sitting there like, you don't want it to compete
staring
with
at
the
me
meat.
like,
like, hey girl, what's up? Okay, I understand. All right. So after the onions, are we using both onions?
Yes, I'm using. No, I'm just going to use
Just the one.
Yes.
So this is like a large size onion.
Yes, large size onion. This last one, I'm going to add it to the tomato. Because look, Appy, anyhow we look at it, onions are very great vegetables.
Oh, of course.
For us.
Apart from flavor, they're also extremely good for our immune system and whatnot.
Yeah. So the more the merrier. Actually,
I agree. I love my onions.
I think my oil is
so the oil is nice and hot.
Yeah.
So meat goes right in.
Meat goes right in. Okay. And then we just stir.
Okay. Okay. So what do we want the meat to look like? When do we know it's ready?
Just a little brown.
Okay.
A bit brown, and then we'll take it out and start the stew. Right. While that is going on,
so we don't want the meat to be dry.
No. I don't prefer it to be dry because I think it's just a preference thing.
No, I mean it's the same for me.
Yeah.
Me, I want to be able to have
it and enjoy it.
Melt in my mouth.
When it's too dry, then
no. We're on the same page there.
Okay, so the blender, I would have to pour the remaining blended spice.
So this is
the blended spice I used to boil the meat.
Okay, so fresh pepper.
Fresh pepper.
The Scotch bonnet pepper.
Yes.
That's what we have here, onion. The green ones.
Yes.
And these are really green, aren't they?
They're very beautiful.
You know, you've got to love our peppers. And then there's some onion in here as well.
There's some onion, there's some spring onion, there's some garlic.
You added the spring onion.
Yes. It all gives it a really nice flavor.
So we have the Scotch bonnet peppers, what a lot of people would call paposhito, our local peppers, the green ones.
Yes.
And then we have some spring onions in there as well. Yeah. We have one red onion, the normal onion that we know, and then some garlic. Okay. Is there ginger too?
Definitely.
Some ginger as well. Okay.
You know that ginger, the onion, pepper are like our three major
it's a whole, the holy trinity.
And then I just like to spice it up with a different. Oh, you don't have to wash it either.
Okay, no, we're good. Okay, that's fine. So we're fine for now. Okay. So you cut some tomatoes. Okay, yes. So we're blending the tomatoes.
The tomatoes.
Okay.
So with that, I add a bit of onion again, and then some pepper.
So onion is very important in your recipe.
I love
the star of the show.
Yes. I love onions, lots of it. The more the merrier for me.
Okay. Well, Sitsofe, we'll talk about all the different parts of you as much as we can, but let's talk about how you got into cooking.
Okay.
I mean, Orelish. Yeah. It's a whole restaurant. And for someone to move beyond the face of, oh, I love to cook, to actually turn that into a business, I'm curious to know what the story is there, you know?
You know how the film terrain is in Ghana? You can't depend on just acting in Ghana. So at some point, I decided to figure out what else I love to do, which I can be doing in my spare time. And so it came up that, I mean, I love cooking. My kids will always say, Mommy, your jollof is always nice. Why don't you start selling jollof? But I started off with shito. The shito started off for me with, I remember when I was in Achimota school, and my mom would always buy me one particular brand of shito, and I didn't quite like it because it was so bent. It's like because they want to increase the shelf life, it becomes black and bent and tasteless.
It's literally black pepper.
Yes, and it was one thing I didn't quite like about that. So I came up with my own recipe where the shito can still taste nice and still
last long.
And still last long. And I mean, we went around in circles for a fair bit where, yes, you do it and then it sits there and then it goes bad. It tastes great, but it doesn't take long to go bad and all that. So we tried over and over again, and then we finally got what works.
So you started making shito when you were in high school?
No, right after.
Yeah, right after.
Yeah.
Maybe, but that's still pretty young.
Yes. Yes.
And this was basically because you, so guys, this is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about how when you experience something, instead of complaining, you should try to fix it, right? So literally, you tasted shito, the shito you knew you didn't like, and you thought, I need my own recipe.
Yeah.
It's not just going to taste good, but it can last long, and it will still have the authentic Ghanaian hotness, the heat that we know and love for our shito.
I mean, because that's what shito is known for. Yeah. Something, a sauce that can go with a lot of things, but also last long on the shelf.
Black pepper sauce.
Yes.
That is really interesting. Okay, so
I like lots of pepper. I'm sure lots of people don't, so I'm going to be
I'm
very measured today.
I'm in between. I'm in between. So that's how you started?
Yes.
Okay, that's how you started. I love the story. So from there, what happened
From there, we decided to add the green pepper sauce because it became trendy at some point where a lot of people were having this with different things.
Okay, so that's the green pepper sauce that you blend the pepper and then cook it a little on the stove. Yes. Okay.
And then I had traveled with someone special to
it's someone special.
A few years back. I'll check on the meat.
Sorry, I think I interrupted you with
my
blending skills.
So yeah, went to Takoradi, and then I have this thing I do where when I'm tasting someone else's food, I'm trying to figure out what could possibly be in there. I'm trying to figure out the various spices or the various ingredients that have gone in there.
No, I'm the same way. So it's sort of like you're constructing the process of the preparation while you're eating.
Yeah. So then we had ordered fried yam and pepper sauce and then chicken. And they brought this red pepper sauce. I was like, okay, this is different from the red and the black, the green and the black. And it was red. And it tasted a bit different as well. So I started to figure out, because then I had asked the lady, can I have the menu, the recipe? Sometimes when you go to some of these big restaurants, they are willing to give you the recipe.
That's a good tip.
Yes. Sometimes you ask and they give you. But this particular one, she wasn't willing to give me.
So I was like, okay, she knew it was a golden recipe.
I'm going to have to figure this out for myself. So I started to figure it out, and I think I had a fair idea what was going on in there. So when I came back home, I started to piece that together, what I had thought had gone in there. We tried first, second, and then we got it on, I think, the third or the fourth. So that's how we added the red pepper sauce to our range as well. And it did quite fantastic at the Sitsofe
the back to your village.
All our shito ranges finished.
No, I saw your stand.
Yeah, like I had a whole stand of red, green,
all
black,
gone.
Everything finished.
All gone.
And I was really impressed. So that's how we came up with our 3 pepper sauce ranges.
Wonderful. It looks like our meat is
done.
It's nice.
Great. Yes. I think I would like to
They look like
now.
princesses swimming in the oil.
I think I like
brown princesses.
Exactly. It shouldn't burn. No. It just should be brown. Yeah. We can take it out now.
Okay. And we're using the same oil, I presume, for the. Okay. We're definitely going to need some tomato paste.
Exactly.
AKA Tasty Tom. Okay. So Tasty Tom has the jollof mix, and since we're making jollof,
I kind of prefer the normal tomato paste.
Okay, so you want the normal tomato paste. You want to start from scratch.
Yes. because they have put in all their ingredients in that one, and I'm making mine from scratch.
You don't want to
Yes.
mess with. Okay.
So our
lower
meat
the
is
tomato
ready and
paste.
beautiful. So at this
Okay.
point, while the oil is ready, I go in with my onion.
Okay. Let
My
me take the fork for you.
okay.
Okay. So onions.
My onion, my star anise. It's one of my secret ingredients that I love.
This is what some people would call in Kiti, right?
No, this is different. The spice itself looks like a star.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But you know when they blend it.
Uh-huh. So this is it in blended form. I like the blended form. Sometimes I put this also in it, but
Okay.
then when people don't know, it has a
So usually
very
you use
peculiar.
the blended form.
Yes. While we wait for that, we can have our rice ready.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll clean the top of this.
Wonderful. So let me bring the rice over. Fortune rice, of course. So fortune rice is Frital's cousin.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Same mother. Different father. Or is it same father, different mother? You'll have to tell us. But both from Wilma, Africa.
Okay.
Yes. One of my favorite brands too. So we thank you, Fortune Rice. Thank you, Frital. It's like today we're getting to use all the sponsored stuff. It makes me so happy.
Yes.
So we have our rice here. Where's the knife? Let me cut it open. Okay. Check on it. Rice is here. How much rice do we need?
Looking at the stew that we have, I think 3 cups should be enough.
This fine?
Yes. So the tomato paste goes in.
Okay.
And we stir that through.
Smells divine.
Thank you.
Absolutely divine.
So at this point, I cover again. And I want to lower the fire a bit.
Okay. Let me help you out
Yes.
with that.
Lower the fire so that it can simmer properly. At this point,
Is this okay?
yes, if it could go a little bit lower. Okay.
Should we bring it back to the front then?
Perhaps.
Or maybe here?
Yes, maybe medium will do.
Let's do here.
Because you don't want the stew to burn.
Exactly.
You want it to,
Want it to really take its time and
Uh-huh.
cook so that.
Yes, this is perfect. So while I wait for that to simmer and cook properly, I then come to my ingredients that I'm going to use to spice my stew.
Okay.
I have my blended dry spice, which, like I said earlier on, has all the local dry spices that
Okay.
we have on the market, from the nkiti, the pepper. We actually have some rosemary in there
Rosemary
as well.
Okay.
And all that's in there. And another favorite ingredient of mine, because I don't like to use too much bouillon cube,
Okay.
is my
Dried shrimp. I
dried
see
shrimp,
that.
which I have blended. Because,
Okay, so these
You don't
are
wanna-
blended dried shrimp.
yes, blended dried shrimp. I prefer that to, some people would use too much.
Yes,
cube.
of course. I mean, if it's natural, it's great. Yeah.
And it gives the jollof a better taste, in
Of
my
course,
opinion.
Of course.
Yes. So I put that, and then I put a bit of bouillon cube.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
And then the salt goes in. You know how the stew does that? So in order to avoid that from happening, that's why I pack it all in one. So
In
once
one.
I open the pot
Then
from one
just
corner,
put it in there.
Yes.
Then we're good.
Then I put it in
so it's
there.
not jumping on your beautiful face.
Because I experienced that a lot.
Okay.
So we mix, and then we'll adjust. If we pour it in and maybe there's something else that is missing, we'll adjust that.
Okay. So it's not time for that yet.
Yes, it's
Okay,
not
so
time for
this
that
is pretty
yet.
much what we need for our jollof.
Exactly.
Right? And then we'll chop some vegetables later.
Exactly.
The pineapple. Or you know what? Let's go for a break. So we're going for a break. This is still what's cooking. Our stew for our jollof is on fire. We're getting to the point where we're going to put some of our spices in there. Once it's cooked, we add our rice. But we also have some veggies to prep for our garnish, and also because we need some vegetables. Yeah, it's important, right? Nutritionally speaking. And then we'll also prep our pineapples for our fresh pineapple juice. Our relish brought her A game. We'll be right back. We're back, and it's still what's cooking right here on Channel 1 TV. My guest today is the indefatigable Sitsofe, and she is here doing her thing. She's a CEO of eRelish. She's also the CEO of Rainbow Productions. She's an actress or an actor, depending on which you choose to use. And like I keep saying, she's just a wonderful human being. Now, we're making some beef jollof. Our stew for the jollof is on fire. It's pretty much done. We're ready for the rice to go in because there's no jollof without rice, right?
Exactly.
And then our beef is here, steamed, fried, all set. And Sitso, look, she brought the relish magic, man. She's, prepping some pineapples so that we can make some fresh pineapple juice. So it's a great time we're having here. Sis.
Yes.
I think our stew is ready.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So rice, what do you want us to do?
I basically want to put in my stock
Okay.
for the meats that we...
So this is the stock that we saved after we steamed the beef,
That's
right?
And then my meat also goes back into
That
it.
goes back in.
When you put it in early enough, it helps it to become a little more tender.
Okay, wonderful.
So I stir,
Okay.
and then my
then
rice
the rice
goes
is going
right
next. Okay. There we go.
You know what they say in Africa, we use our eye to measure
Yes, we do. We use our eyes, our hearts, our souls, our spirits.
Yes. Your ancestors will tell you when it's enough.
I tell you. We know. Okay.
I don't do water with my jollof because I believe rice generally will cook in itself with the heat.
Okay.
Meko may add water.
Right. Okay, but that's not, you will not.
That's not my style.
Okay. Wonderful. And I believe this is also a secret to getting, as we say in Ghana, we want the jollof to be one. Each grain should stand on its own, shouldn't be mushy and,
I like
it shouldn't look like omoto.
Exactly.
And
I like my jollof to be stewy. It's
okay,
a little more on itself.
On itself.
I feel like jollof is one of those dishes that have given people trust issues.
Absolutely.
When it's too watery and just colored rice, then you want to add stew or something. But when it actually tastes
damoshi.
You don't have to add anything.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so our jollof is getting ready. We've also prepped the vegetables that are going to be used for garnishing, and we'll put them in there as well, because like we said, vegetables are also important. We want a balanced meal. We want all our nutrients and vitamins in there.
Yeah.
So sis, let's do some more talking.
Okay.
So after high school, shortly afterwards, you had this terrible shito experience in high school. The shito didn't taste great. You said to yourself, I'm going to make my own recipe.
Yes.
Did you see it becoming a business?
Actually not. I didn't. For me, I just thought...
You just wanted to satisfy your craving.
Exactly. I wanted to have something in the house that we could use to eat anything. Plain rice, fried yam, anything, even eba. So I started making it, and then friends will come over and I like it. I want one. Can you give me some? And I was like, okay, I'm selling it. And so then they started to buy, introduced to other friends and then other friends. So the clientele is, I try not to make too much.
Okay. It's very... when I eat orange shito, what I see is that it still tastes like a great home-made shito.
Yes.
It doesn't taste like, for lack of a better way of putting it, a product that's been commercialized, and so it's lost the heart and soul of it. I still taste like the love that went into preparing it.
Because going into the food that you're making.
And it makes sense. You're artistic. Thank you. How did we, so the shito went well, then we introduced the green pepper sauce and then the red pepper
red
sauce. After
pepper
that
sauce.
famous trip or infamous trip to Takrady with someone
Yes.
special, whom we shall not name. Okay, so our jollof is cooking. What we've done just now is we've put some, like olunka bags, banku rubber, however you want to call it. We have all these interesting names for it,
Yes.
but it's clear polythene bags,
Yeah,
the small
to
ones.
trap
and
the
you
heat.
just want to trap the heat in there. So it's a barrier between the cover and then the rice itself. The vapor will cook it. So that's what we're doing now. Should we start making our pineapple juice?
Yes, we should. We should.
So Sitso brought an Orelish blender.
Giant one.
Oh yeah, it's literally a giant one. Black is my favorite color, right? So
Me too.
I'm loving the black vibe. If it
It looks
doesn't
like-
go home with you,
I should blame you, eh?
oh yes, I'll own this with my full chest. But speaking of a relish, so I was asking, how did we get to a full-blown restaurant business?
Okay, so right after the shito and getting the ranges, I was like, okay, why not add something that goes with it? After the kids kept complaining, oh, you have to start selling jollof, your jollof is good. I was like, okay. And a couple of friends actually, I used to have this thing where I would invite my actor friends over during Christmas to come and eat at home with me, and then we just sit down and chit chat about film, acting, etc. So I don't add water,
No
even
water.
if I do just a little to my pineapple, because I don't add sugar as well.
Okay.
So
We are using the sweetness,
and
then also the juice from the
Yes,
pineapple.
fantastic.
Literally the juice.
Yes.
Okay.
We could add just a little bit of water.
Okay, so let me get
in this.
some drinking water.
Okay.
Since it's not something we're cooking, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
We have a dispenser here.
Okay. Just a little bit. That's fine. Yes. And so we started off.
So you
with-
started using your friends as experiments.
Yes.
That's the mark of a good businesswoman. Using your friends as experiments. So jollof was on the menu.
Yes, jollof was the first thing. And for me, I wanted something that can always go with the shito. The shito can complement. So we came up with the jollof, and then we came up with angwamo, which is one of our best sellers as well.
And
When you take off
angwamo is top notch.
Thank you.
Top notch. So those who don't know what angwamo is, the uninitiated.
Yes.
It's braised rice. So essentially rice and oil, got some onions in there. If you're a Ghana,
Some
like
pepper.
some tolo beef.
Tolo beef.
Some pepper. Very similar, and it's the kind of thing you can eat on its own.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's white rice, but the oil, especially if it's fried, the tolo beef, the pepper, the onions.
Yeah.
Sitcho's favorite onions.
Yes.
That's what does the trick. So that's interesting. And
Yeah.
then you turned it into a business.
Exactly.
And so how long has Relish been in business now?
The shito has been in business almost 7 years. Eh?
Yes. And then
But the cooking, the food aspects, 2 years.
right.
Yes. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
It's not easy to do business of any kind,
Not
anywhere
at
in the
all.
world.
Not at all.
And in Ghana
These
too.
days especially.
In Ghana too. We have our unique, challenges.
Yeah.
But well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. Now I know you have kids.
Yeah.
How many?
2.
All right. How old are they?
My daughter is 16, going 17, and my son is 14.
You see, so people look at you and say, this small girl. It's not a small girl.
I know.
What has it been like, And we'll talk about your acting career shortly, and then later on production, because you released your first feature film
Yes.
earlier this year, I
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
2024,
Yeah.
Evo,
Yeah.
which, ladies and gentlemen, go and look for a mind-blowing piece on domestic violence. And I don't think I'd ever seen you that vulnerable in a film, because you acted in it and produced it. Look,
Yes,
it was
I did.
amazing.
Thank you.
But what's it been like doing all that? Because I know late night on set,
Yeah.
sometimes you have orders, you have to stay up with your team. How has that been like raising 2 young people? Because now they are not children.
I know. I think because they have always grown up with me doing these things that I love. They've gotten used to it at some point, and so they are very supportive. Let me call it that, for lack of a better word, because there's been times where they will be reading my script for me, or they'll be reading the other person's line so that I can get
wow.
my script, and they've become used to that as well. So they've been very supportive, and they've been understanding of the times that I have to be away for long hours. There are times when my son would wait up for me to come back home around 2, 3. He would be calling, "Are you not done? When are you coming?" I'm still waiting. I said, "Go to bed." He says, "No, I'll wait for you to come home."
And you're a single mom.
Yeah.
How does that add more layer of complexity to the dynamics?
I think what it adds to it is it just makes you stronger because you know you don't have anyone else but yourself and the kids. So you become stronger, you become a lot more protective of them because you know it is your sole duty to do these things and to make sure they are okay. So example is even when I'm looking for a place to stay, there are so many other things I put into perspective. I don't want to. I remember there was a time when my daughter was like, "Why don't we live on a self compound?" I said, "No, it's not safe because then when I'm away,
it's only you.
It's only you guys.
We need
but if
people
we are, so I've always preferred living in apartments where there are other neighbors. And most
flats.
of the places, we've had really warm neighbors. So sometimes when I'm not around, they are keeping an eye on them. I can call, sometimes when their phones are off, I can call another neighbor to just check on them. So those are the things I put into perspective. It makes you think extra of the other ways to do things instead of just doing it your one way. And also going back to the understanding or the belief that it takes a village to raise kids. You can't do it on your own. So I've had supportive friends also who chip in every now and then, especially when they live around, to check on them. "Oh yeah, I was just there and they're okay." So those things kind of help me keep sane, even when I'm away.
Thank you so much for your honesty. I think that a lot of the time when we talk about things like
this,
the
rice while we are
very
doing
important. A lot of the time when we talk about things like this, especially as women, you know, we live in a society where, let's call a spade a spade. Talking about single motherhood to some extent is still a taboo, you know, with all our enlightenment and our exposure. But thank you for your honesty. And I think that what you've just shared in these few minutes, these last few minutes, there are a lot of other single mothers, single parents, because we have single fathers, we're in Father's Month as well. I'm sure there are a lot of parents who will pick a piece or two and they'll be encouraged by what you've achieved. While being a single parent. Thank you for your honesty.
Thank you.
Oh, we'll come back to the conversation. Let me blend the pineapples.
Yes.
Okay.
I wish there was a bit of ginger. We could have rubbed that in there.
Okay, our pineapple juice is looking good. How does that look?
Looks fantastic.
You are the expert. I am just your sous chef, madame.
It looks great. So we are going to pour it in our glass and put it in the fridge so that it will be chilling.
Okay. So on that note, I think we can take a break. So when we come back, we sit down, we eat, and we drink our pineapple juice. But before that, Sitcho, when we come back, I'll start asking you about your acting career and how you got into it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's go for our break. When we come back, we sit down, we dine, and we drink. Welcome back. This is What's Cooking on Channel 1 TV. My name is Apioko, and I've been cooking up a storm. Well, not me, like my guest has. In the What's Cooking kitchen, we've made some jollof. The jollof, I've been tasting it. I'm not supposed to taste it, but I've been eating it like, underground. Sitsofe, Chico, Ace Cook. I mean, look, stamped and approved. But what should we call this jollof?
Well, it's special chunky beef jollof.
Special chunky beef jollof. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, shall we eat?
Yes. Shall I serve?
Yes, please. Okay. And while we're doing that, let me remind you that this show is sponsored by Indomie. It tastes great. Tasty Tom, Ufa Kakra, Na Ye Bebre, Fortune Rice, which is responsible for the jollof today, as well as Tasty Tom. You know, we love. Oh, I said tasty tom already. No, it's fine. You can mention you twice. But Fritor has given us the golden brown beauty of this beef in the chunky beef jollof, the special chunky beef jollof. Okay, we made some, fruit juice as well.
Yes.
So this is pineapple juice.
Pineapple juice.
It's fresh, sliced. The pineapples were sliced and diced by Sitsofe herself. And then we tossed it into the relish blender. She carried along.
Thank
Here
you.
you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is something else.
Yes. I like the way it's chilled.
Something else. Oh, let's get that jollof. And this is literally a one-pot meal.
Yes.
Veggies in there, protein in there, carbs in there, everything. So, teacher, we've spoken about our relish and how we got here. But I want us to talk about your acting career, and how you transitioned from acting to, from someone who is always in front of the camera to now being the boss chick that you are behind the camera with Rainbow Productions. How'd you get into acting? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Guys.
Should we get you water?
Water. 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 We'll get water. We'll get water.
Okay. Well, I mean,
you did not just do that. Are you serious?
We're talking about acting, so I just might as well give a little freestyle,
I can't believe it. I can't believe I fell for it. Yes, she's an actress. No, let me catch my breath. Yeah, you got
in
me.
the moment.
What's cooking?
Oh.
Yeah. I heard there's going to be.
Where did you get this glass from?
No, because of the.
No, but where did you get the glass from?
The glass there is somewhere.
So you went to my kitchen and took the. Like, who does this?
Yeah. And because I heard that it's a beefy jollof. Tolo beefy. Please, did you add the kanzo?
The kanzo is still in the kitchen. Do you want the
I
kanzo?
want it.
Please
Okay.
don't bring him any cans.
I want it.
Sitcho, this is my neighbor.
Okay.
No, but today, you know what's going to happen. Today we are ready for you.
Yeah.
I knew it, so I didn't even tell Sitcho what we are going to do because I knew you would come. And I know that we have an actress here. You have to justify your inclusion. Pick and act.
Justify.
Pick and act.
Oh.
Pick and act.
Is it before he gets a plate of jollof?
Yes, he must justify why he should eat some of the food because he always shows up when the food is ready. He never helps, so justify. What does this mean?
Making banku. Oh.
No, you do another one. It's not how to make banku.
All your energy.
It's not how to make banku.
Oh, hawking in the market.
Let's see your skills. It will be your cutlery now that you'll be hawking.
Yes, ice waiter. Yeah, what's a mima banku? Pacho back. Saying. Yeah. Pure waiter.
I can't believe this.
Hello.
I think you should get a plate of jollof now.
Please give me.
You've earned yourself a plate of jollof.
Serve me. Hey.
Yes.
Jollof.
So you do anything for
Jollof,
food.
beefy jollof.
You do anything for food.
It's the best.
So you do anything for food.
Anything.
Are you sure?
Please help me. When I finish, I'll go and look for the kanzoria.
So Sitcho,
Yes.
acting. How?
Don't worry, we are doing it.
Well, basically, as Ghanaians, we are already
Dramatic.
dramatic one. I think it's a West African thing, not just a Ghanaian thing. Because our fellow Nigerians also do very well with that.
Ghana, Niger.
We are very dramatic. So, to blend the two, I think it's just a matter of finding the things you love and finding a way to monetize them. because for me it brings me joy, and then of course it puts some money in your pocket as well. So that those were the two moving forces which got me into doing both of the things I do.
Okay, so what point did you start acting?
I'd say it's almost about 15 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did it begin?
I used to work at Vodafone, the head office. I think that's why I did my national service even. And right after school, I wanted to read news, actually. So in the meantime,
interesting.
while waiting to, put, because I remember I had taken an application even to TV3 back then. In the meantime, I thought, okay, maybe I should start going for a few auditions so it will get me to meet people. And then a friend of mine had called me for an audition. It was for an advert. And I enjoyed the whole audition process. So I told my friend, you know what, every time you hear of other auditions, just call me, I'll come. So that's how I started going for auditions. And then it moved from just adverts to movie and TV series gigs. And then
The rest is
history.
What's the favorite role you've played?
Well, I enjoyed playing Della in Neville. Currently, it's my favorite. It's my current favorite.
So I want us to talk about it, but
Yeah, I enjoyed that as well. Joyce in the day. I
Joyce
enjoyed
Ndidi.
being Joyce in the day as well. Yeah.
you're very versatile. So how do you get into character and stay into? What are some of the methods that you use?
For me, I try to take time to analyze the character as much as I can, and then every scene I try to take it scene by scene. So every scene I ask myself, what would my character do? What would my character do in this scene? How would she do it? Who is she? I remind myself of everything the character is before a scene and ask myself, what would she do in this situation? And then go with that particular instinct. Because no matter what technique, let me call it that, you use, there are still things that becomes innately the character. And so I don't employ one specific technique.
Now she's taking us into the philosophy of acting. Yeah.
I try not to employ just one particular technique because every scene and what it demands. For example, if I were to cry, I may not, and I'm trying one particular technique and it's not working, I would have to try the other technique to see if that would work, So that's what I do in the moment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about how you transitioned to becoming a film producer. What led you down that path? Because not every actor or actress transitions to actually produce the films or direct them or do things away from them being the focal point on the screen.
Yeah.
But how did you get to that point?
First of all, I had a story and I wanted to tell it, and I felt it had taken enough time and I was ready to tell the story. Secondly, I was tired of not getting the kind of characters or roles that I wanted to play.
What kind of roles were you looking for?
I wanted to play different roles in different stuff. But most of the time, somebody would see you in a particular role and give you roles similar to that. I want to play a lawyer in something. I want to play a prostitute in something. I want to play somebody's mother, somebody's wife, somebody's girlfriend. I want to play different things in different. I want to play a doctor. How else can we tell those stories? So I realized the time has come for me to start telling my own stories. And for me, I think that's what makes an actor. That's from my own perspective. It's different things for different people. But I feel like until I'm able to play at least 10 different roles and kill them, I don't know. But
I see what you mean. You should be able to fit into any role. That's the test of your strength as an actor.
I want to remain a blank canvas as possible. I want to do stage. I want to do screen. I want to try it all. I want to attempt it all. I would fail sometimes upon a first trial at something, but the fact that I have attempted it alone makes me excited. Yeah.
That's interesting. Let's talk about Evo.
Yeah.
I'm very sure my neighbor has not watched it. But the story of domestic violence, and you played the lead character, but also directed it, also produced it. What was that like? Because even just switching from, character to now getting the rest of the cast to do what they're supposed to do, to now managing budgets and like, what was that like for you?
You know, honestly, it's not something I would want to do again because it's excruciating and it takes away from the character somehow, because there's too much work, there's too much on your table as one person to do in the entire production. So what happens is it takes away from, if the character would have delivered maybe 100%, the character ends up delivering like 80 or 90%. So it's not something I would recommend for an actor, especially if you're playing lead in the project as well. So subsequently, I will go ahead and employ a director that I feel can kill that particular project. Sometimes it depends on the story also and the director who you think can kill it. So subsequently, that's what I'm going to do with every other project Rainbow Productions does, because it was too much work. And I feel like if that wasn't the case, Della would have been a lot more intense as an actor.
But Della was intense.
She was.
How much more intensity did you want Della to have?
I think the only thing that also helped Della was the fact that 70% of the story was something she had lived.
So let's tell our viewers very briefly a little bit about what Evo is about. Just very briefly.
Evo is basically a film about domestic violence where Della mistakenly kills the father of her children and is likely to go to prison for 20 years. But so now she's supposed to tell the court why she feels she's not to blame for the death of her kid's dad. So she takes us on a journey on how the love story began and all that, to the point where she mistakenly kills this man. And now we are in the courtroom in the final scene where she's asking if, with everything they now know, if she should still go to jail.
Still go to jail.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful story.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful story. Thank you. You have just eaten.
Yes.
Sister General.
Evo.
That's a good one.
I like that. No, I like that. Sicho, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
I'm blessed to know you.
Same here.
The versatility that you bring to the table, the way you're passionate about your creativity and the different ways in which it presents itself and how you chase each and every one. It's beautiful.
Thank you so much.
And for anybody who's watching, young, old, male, female, who wants to start their cooking business, start their shito business, start acting, start producing films, start going to the moon, if you may. Sicho's story, her stories are really just exemplary of, I want to do it, just do, and it will happen. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for the special chunky beef jollof.
Yes.
Taster General, what's your verdict? Because I know that, because this guy, if I don't let him give a verdict, can I actually tell him to put the cameras back on.
My verdict is in her being the Tyler Perry, Eddie Murphy, and the Jollof maker. So, Nucci.
Thank you.
Nucci. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching another episode of What's Cooking. Thank you to my guest, Sitsofe Chiko, actress, CEO of Orelish. It's a restaurant. Look for it. Try her shito range, the black, the red, the green. And also the CEO of Rainbow Productions. If you're looking for a collaboration, reach out to her. I'm sure you can find her on social media. Sitsofe Chiko.
Yes.
And then look her up and see the interesting things that she's doing. Once again, a very big thank you to our sponsors, Frytol for giving us the oil for the jollof, Fortune Rice for giving us the rice for the jollof, Tasty Tom for giving us the tomato paste for the jollof, and then of course Indomie. And Indomie, we are going to eat this for dessert. My name is Apioka. We'll see you again next week.